This Rockingham NASCAR 2026 DFS Picks edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Kalshi. Make real money predicting sports. Kalshi is available in a ton of states, and you get $10 free with promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, promo code SGPN.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'm just gonna put my foot on the floor and I'm not lifting till I see God or a checkered flag.
My man.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
We want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. In Jesus' name, boogity, boogity, boogity.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
Welcome into another episode of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. He's Cody Zeeb. I'm Rod Villagomez. And today, I know for the YouTube folks, we're doubling up. So if you're watching us again on YouTube, thank you for hanging with us for yet another episode on the live stream. However, if you are a avid podcast listener of this, you don't know what we're talking about. And that's fine because you're going to listen to this when you listen to this. But we do appreciate you joining us for this DFS episode of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast from Rockingham. Of course, Trucks and O'Reilly are in session. No Cup Series this weekend as they take their Easter break, their only break, by the way. And we will be dedicating, well, the whole show pretty much to the O'Reilly Series and Truck Series DFS and helping you get your DFS lineups set up for what will be a fun weekend of racing.
Whoops, I clicked the wrong button, Rod. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually ready. I'm excited. Okay, here we go. It is gonna be a fun weekend. We talked about it obviously earlier when we were on live, but yeah, getting Trucks and Xfinity or Trucks and O'Reilly, I suppose it is these days.
Or swear jar.
To be the main event of the weekend. I love it. I think it's great. We love these series. We've been betting on playing DFS in these series for years. And for them to kind of get the spotlight for one weekend a year, I'm here for it.
Indeed. Keep in mind, of course, that the Truck Series will have an early race on Thursday. What were we talking? 1:30 Pacific, right? So yeah. 4:30 Eastern. That's
very early. There's no lights at Rockingham, unfortunately. So they got to get it in early, and that's what they're doing.
That's okay, though. I mean, listen, I'm all for a Friday afternoon race. That actually makes it better for me because then, I watch the race, put it in the books, and then have a good dinner and enjoy the rest of the night out.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You can get it done before your Friday night plans. And if you got family or whatever for Easter or doing whatever, you'll get that knocked out in the afternoon and then you're good to go.
Indeed. Yeah. So again, the Truck Series will take place on Friday. Then of course, Saturday will be the O'Reilly Series. And that means Sunday is free for you to enjoy whatever you do on Easter. If that's nothing, then enjoy that and maybe just take a nice day. Catch your breath. There's no F1. There's no Indy. There's no NASCAR. I mean, short of
the wife extra attention. She's going to be like, aren't you going to watch the race? I'm skipping the race today, honey. Today, it's a holiday. Going to spend time with you and the kids. I'll watch the race next week. Butter her up a little bit. And then maybe get a free pass next week when we're at Bristol.
Indeed. All right. Well, then, so we talked a little bit about the news and the notes from earlier today, and then we, obviously covered them in the last episode. Not really much more to cover because obviously we just jumped on a couple hours after we did before, but I will talk about this and we'll talk about this again as well when we talk about the trucks. But in that colleague mess that we were talking about, I did allude to the fact that I would give you a little more colleague lament, as it were. Mini Tyrell in the 14 Ram truck, which is somebody we've talked about here a couple of times, suspended or on probation. I'm sorry, on probation. He did not get suspended. He was probation in a Cars Tour incident. Now, this won't affect him in the Truck Series, but I'm here to tell you, man, I don't know what it is to call it drivers right now. It feels like everybody's running amok right now.
Yeah, it's one of those. Are we breeding a bad culture over here, or what's going on? Who knows? Justin Haley better watch out. They're coming for him next.
It's reality TV gone wrong, kids. This is what happens when you make everything a reality contest, right?
That checks out. Could be the problem.
I'm just saying, like, you just focus on driving, worry about the reality series later on in it. I know this Survive to Drive thing or the Drive to Survive thing was one thing for F1. The NASCAR one stopped, right? I don't even think there's one.
Yeah, I mean, they had that like hour and a half episode for Daytona, which was entertaining, but wasn't much. But yeah, sadly, we don't get one like F1 does.
It's okay. I almost don't care anymore because it just doesn't add anything to me like it used to. But whatever, to each their own. Baseball's back, though. If I have to remind you, then you didn't know. Wake up. Baseball's back. And so is the MLB Gambling Podcast. Daily Picks podcast, breaking down all the MLB action. You can get that on the SGPN app or wherever you get your podcasts. Cody, this Rockingham track has been out of use for a very long time. It got put back into use last year from the Trucks and the O'Reilly series, then the Xfinity series. So really, honestly, by large counts, most of the drivers that are driving on this track have never driven on it or have only taken to it once. So when we start talking and breaking down this particular race, especially even for DFS purposes, we don't have a lot of data to choose from.
Yeah, we really don't. I mean, we've got the one race last year to look at. When it comes to the Truck Series, that turned into a crazy fuel mileage race. So how much do you want to weigh into that? Is that what we think we're going to get again? Likely not, right? Obviously always possible, but probably going to be a little bit different. The O'Reilly race, the guy who won the race, led a lot of the laps. He was disqualified later. Now for DFS, that doesn't matter. They score it as you go, but will Jesse Love be that good again this year because they're maybe not cheating? TBD, right? So we'll see. But yeah, it's we talked about this on the O'Reilly Series betting episode, but for me, I'm looking a lot more at what have you done for me lately, current trends, guys we trust right now, rather than what did they do specifically in this race last year, or what does their other history look like at comparable tracks, just because you really start to get in the weeds with these lower series. Now, again, if it was the Cup Series, it's different there. They're the regular guys. They're, a lot of the rides aren't changing all the time. I mean, these O'Reilly and Truck Series fields look almost completely different from year in and year out, minus the staples, right? There's the Justin Allgaiers, the Grant Enfingers, the Matt Craftons for a long time that are just around, but all the pieces around them are constantly moving and shaking, and that just changes so many things that I think it's hard to go back too far. So mostly for me, it's going to be, what have you done for me lately? Can I trust you? How well have you run in other series if you're not a regular here? That type of thing.
Yeah, and me and my not necessarily disdain for comp tracks, but just my whole, I don't know. I don't really embrace the comp track notion all that great, but sometimes I will say
it gets overblown at times, for sure. And you can, like, I've definitely gone down that rabbit hole, like, he wasn't good here, but he's been good, and then you talk yourself out of something or into something that maybe we tried to connect too many dots and had too many strings going across, and the wires get crossed, and then you talk yourself into or out of something you shouldn't.
The human race tends to overthink everything on God's green earth. Not overthinking this, though. Hunter Blazier saying, good evening, guys. Rockingham brings lots of worrisome when it comes to betting the race here. I don't know.
I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah.
Hey, at least we're on the same page. I guess that counts for something, right?
Boy, we certainly are. Turn that in stereo. That was certainly good. All right. But anyways, let's break down this DFS world that we're living in today, where we always give you our favorite high price driver, mid-tier driver, and value driver for the Cup and for the O'Reilly and the Truck Series.
Usually, we always give you for the Cup Series, but
what happens when you start to get into autopilot. But yeah, so we'll do that, and we'll start with the Truck Series. And I feel like now's as good as time as any to start breaking down the Black's Tire 200 entry list, where we will be taking 200 laps around this 1 mile paved track for 200 miles around the Rockingham Speedway in Rockingham, North Carolina. This, unlike the O'Reilly series, Cody, this Truck Series has some notable entries in this.
Yeah, it does. There is 38 entries for 36 spots. The 2 drivers will go home. Make sure you're paying attention. Obviously, DraftKings is really good about marking those guys out after qualifying, but make sure you're not playing anybody that's not in the race, of course. Notable entries, Corey Heim. He's going to be back in the 1 truck. Of course, he won last time out back at Darlington. So, you know how that went. Luke Baldwin, he's going to be back in the number 2 truck. That is the Rayum Racing truck over there. So, another appearance for him. In the number 4 truck, we have Connor Hall for Nice Motorsports. He is a Cars Tour late model type of guy stepping up. Marco Andretti, he is back. No, sorry, it's Adam Andretti. Just kidding. It wasn't Marco. It's Adam. Adam Andretti is back, though. He's going to be in the 5 truck. Sammy Smith, our our O'Reilly series superstar. He is going to be in the 7 truck for Spire Motorsports. In the 10 will now be Corey LaJoy. He's taking that ride over for the rest of the season. He'll be the new full-time guy replacing Daniel Dye. The 25 is now Ty Dillon. LaJoy was originally scheduled to be the free agent driver. Ty Dillon going to shift into that spot. In the 42, we have Parker Eatman. That's a new name I have not seen previously. In the 62, if you did watch that reality Ram show, Michael Christopher Jr. was on that show. He is going to be in the 62 for Halmar Friesen and their additional truck there. And then the Hurricane, Carson the Goat, Earnhardt Jr. the third, Hocevar. That was a lot of stuff, but Carson Hocevar, baby, he's back in the 77 truck. And if you don't think we'll be talking about him today, you're wrong.
I am super stoked for Michael Christopher Jr. That was a guy that I mean, look, for all reality purposes that show was, to get introduced to him was pretty cool. I did like the way he raced. I liked his style. I bet I was hoping that he won the whole thing. I mean, obviously I like Mini, but you know, Michael Christopher was my second favorite guy. So I'm glad to see him get an opportunity, not in a Ram truck, but in an actual Toyota. Yeah.
So, completely different route, but hey, take the opportunities where you can get them. And yeah, it's good to see, you know, maybe this opportunity, I don't know, maybe he already had some stuff planned, but maybe this opportunity spurred from that show and from people liking him and whatnot. And if that's the case, then great. We need more of that type of stuff, right? I think that more so than the Drive to Survive type of stuff maybe is what we need. The up and comers, the guys who are scratching and clawing it out and getting those competitions like we got. I thought that Ram did a great job with that. So yeah, it's great to see one of those guys get an opportunity this weekend at The Rock.
Yeah, actually, that's the part of the whole show that I absolutely loved, was the fact that it was a competition show rather than just a straight reality show. Yeah, I know that they had their little reality moments, but I was very much appreciative of the fact that they treated it like, hey man, you're driving and you're going to win this seat. It's not a popularity contest. It's a, how can you drive whatever we throw at you contest. And so,
yeah. And all the different disciplines and, you know, go-karts and stock cars and all kinds of things. Like it really was great. If you haven't watched it, go back, check it out. It's definitely worth, maybe that can be your Sunday entertainment this week.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. You can binge it too. You could probably sit there all day, and how long it takes you to watch a race, it'll take you to watch the entire series. So, all right. Well, then we've set up the race. We'll give you all of our favorite picks. But before we do, I want to tell you about our friends over at Kalshi. Kalshi is a real money prediction market, legal in a ton of states. Kalshi's got a ton of trading options for all of your favorite sports. And I, right now, am tracking this NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. You can actually trade on who you think is going to win the North Carolina Education Lottery 250. We think it's going to be Justin Allgaier. And Kalshi's got it right now at 19 cents to the yes. So a $10 investment from you will yield $53 when the 7 car takes the checkered flag, wins another race, and cements himself into the championship conversation. How you get that $10? Well, if you're a new Kalshi customer, we'll give it to you when you use promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, Kalshi, promo code SGPN. Our friends over at Underdog have got you covered for Pick'em for almost every single sport under the sun. Don't believe me? I'm going to test that in just a second. Underdog has just increased their payouts. 2-pick entries now pay 3.5x. 3-pick entries now pay 6.5x. I screwed this all up in the O'Reilly series episode. I'm fixing it now. How about Anish Giri? Don't recognize that name? I'm not surprised. It's a very popular one in the world of chess. We are going to give him a finishing position of better than 4.5 in the Candidates 2026. Who is Anish? He is the 9th-ranked world player in all of chess right now. I think he can get it done in this tournament. So go and put your money down on that. And if you're a brand new customer to Underdog, you play $5, you get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code RACE, SGPN. I sometimes wonder if Google can make sense of anything that I do. I'm over here searching up chess tournaments in one breath and like darts in the next, and it's like, what is this guy doing?
How quickly you can go from a racing statistic to another sports statistic or this or that. Google's got to be like, what does this guy do? Just like, I mean, Google knows obviously because they're all watching, but
yeah,
still, if somebody's checking those logs, they're like, what?
The algorithm just has no idea. They just throw stuff at me now because they're like, oh, Rod will probably like this.
Yeah, like, he might like this. Oh, we're not getting enough clicks on this. Let's throw this Rod's way.
let's get Rod in on this. He'll go headlong into all of it. But well, anyways, we are here today to speak of DFS purposes. So let us get down and dirty into this truck race. I almost don't want to set this loose because I see the first name in the doc and I'm just not here for it. But Cody, go ahead. Take it.
Who else would the high price driver be than the Hurricane himself? Carson, host of our $10,700. Of course, I am going to be playing him because, well, we've seen him. He looks good, right? We saw him in 2 truck races already. Sorry, 3 truck races this season, 2 of them being drafting tracks. So take what you will from those, although he looked good in both. Got a good finish at Atlanta, didn't at Daytona. Then we go to Darlington the last time out, and he looked really good there, right? He leads 16 laps and is on his way to winning. He is going to win the race until he doesn't win the race there late, unfortunately. But you go back to last season when he made some starts in this truck as well, had a lot of success. He won at Kansas, of course, led 75 laps on the day, led 56 laps at Michigan as well. Not all the starts result in great runs or a lot of DFS points, so I will point that out. Pocono was a bit disappointing, starting 4th, finishing 13th. Not leading any laps. Texas started 19th, finished 17th, and also didn't lead laps. So it's not 100% click all of it, right? And we know it's Carson Hocevar. We know that he can be over aggressive, yes, but we've also seen the talent and the skill that he has. And if he does put the race together, and I think even Rod would agree with this, if he stays out of trouble, if he keeps his nose clean, he is the driver that's going to be in the mix with a shot to win it. He is, of course, the only Cup driver in this race. So you've got to give him some, Ty Dillon, if you want to count him as a Cup driver, also in this race. But as I said, Carson Hocevar, the only Cup driver in this race. You got to give him some extra credit for that. Obviously a Corey Heim is in here too. That'll come into play, but Hocevar should be up front, should be a fast truck, should be in the mix to win this thing. And I think that can pay off in DFS. So give me the Hurricane himself, Carson Earnhardt III, $10,700.
I will agree with you in this instance, Cody. I will agree with you that yes, if he manages, and I said this about everybody, right? Ty Gibbs starting to earn a little more respect for me. I'm a man of my word. I said, if you can show me that you can be somebody that can learn and adapt, I don't care if you're aggressive, like that's fine, but like, don't be a dick. Just be somebody that can learn, be Corey Day in a world full of hosts of ours. Be Corey Day. So fine. If he is a good step down from my high price driver, then I will begrudgingly say to you, then that's a good play. But I think, Cody, it's Heim time. It's going to be Heim time. It's always been Heim time. the guy should have a full-time ride somewhere, right? I don't understand. And Hunter's got my back on this one, and he's going to back Heim like he did last week. Love the fact that the Triple Truck Challenge 2, he's got money to race for. He's got more than that, Hunter. He's got to figure out that he needs this full-time ride. And the more he keeps winning in the Truck Series, the more he keeps dominating, the more people can't keep ignoring him and not putting him in rides. He is the highest priced driver in the entire slate. I get that, but I'm going to save you a little money on both ends of the medium price and value drivers to fit him in, because what more, if you've listened to any sort of Truck Series at all, you know Corey Heim, he won last week, obviously, in the 5 truck, no less, not even in the 1 truck that he's going to be in, which is a probably much better truck, to be completely honest with you, right? This Thor Sport truck is definitely good. So he led 52 laps of this race last year. He didn't get the win. He ended up finishing 8th, but he did lead the most laps all the way through this race. And it's Corey Heim. You know, he won so much last year. He's going to continue to win every time he steps up here. It's a crime, 1, that he's not racing full time, and 2, that he's not racing full-time in the Cup Series, to be perfectly honest with you. So I feel like he's basically taking all of these rides that he's getting now, all of these starts that he's getting, and he's just going, listen, I'm going to just keep coming out here. I'm going to keep dominating. I'm going to keep winning, and then you can't ignore me anymore. So, it's Heim time, and especially for DFS purposes, he's going to go out there. He's going to lead laps. He's going to be fast. We were looking for pianos a couple of seasons ago, even last season, right? He got in trouble so many times with electrical issues and mechanical issues and act of God issues. But now that he's not full-time anymore and he's driving good, clean trucks, like, I think it's all gravy for Corey Heim, and he's just going to go out and have fun. And like Hunter said, he's got money to win this week.
Is this Corey Heim's gap year? You know, he's about to embark on this long, strenuous Cup Series career, being a Cup Series star. He's just gotten out of high school doing the lower series stuff. He's just kind of bouncing around wherever he feels like it, running some races before we get too serious about the future. So, that's a great point to him. Like, he's got nothing to lose. This isn't his series. Doesn't have to worry about points. Doesn't have to worry about, I got to race this guy the rest of the season when I'm battling for a championship. None of that. So, as he proved at Darlington, he can go out and get it done. But I will caution and say at Darlington, he wasn't really that good outside of that 11 truck. Now, at the end of the day, he wins. So, are you good if you win? I'm still confused. I'll have to check the Discord on that one. We'll wait for a ruling if you're good if you win or not. But really, the truck wasn't that good. Now, that was the 5 truck. Maybe the 1 truck will be somewhat different. We'll have to see. It's still Corey Heim, obviously. He's the heavy favorite, as he should be. He should be the guy that goes out and wins this race. So I wouldn't play him in everything, because I think that there is a way, even at Darlington, I would imagine he probably wasn't optimal, just because I don't think he led many laps. I don't have that right in front of me, but it wasn't an overall great race other than he won and ended up there at the end of the day. So definitely going to want to play him. He's probably going to have to be a cash play, that type of thing, because everybody's going to have him. But in some GPP stuff, maybe you avoid him a little bit.
Yeah, that's the only part, is that you got to pick your poison too when you're doing guys that are $12,000, because, again, it's always the whole, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? Whatever. But sometimes you just have to bite the bullet, and, you can run him in a cash game, and that's definitely for sure. But GPPs are going to want to get hosts of ours, I guess. But what are you going to do?
I do, Rod. What else I'm going to do? That's play Giovanni Ruggiero. We're going to take him $7,700. He's been a Discord darling as well. And he's been really, really solid this season. Of course, with the trucks, we haven't had as much of a sample as we have with O'Reilly and with Cup, right? They've only run 4 races. It's been 2 super speedways and a street course. So you don't have a ton to look at, but 2nd and 3rd place finishes at Daytona and Atlanta. St. Pete started 2nd, was running really, really good. Got involved in some late stuff there and had a bad finish, but even at Darlington, starts in 8th place, finishes in 4th place. So overall, it's been a solid start to the year from Gio after we saw him leave off pretty well, right? Phoenix wasn't great, but before that, 11th at Martinsville, 1 at Talladega, 4th at New Hampshire. New Hampshire is one of those tracks that we want to comp to this track. He had great finishes at Richmond with a 6th place finish, even after starting in 35th place. Another track that we would like to comp to this if we're looking for comp tracks. He was good at North Wilkesboro with a 7th place finish where he led 24 laps. Again, could be a comp track. 4th place finish at Kansas. Gio Ruggiero is a talented race car driver on a good team. You just mentioned how good Tricon is, how good those trucks are. It's a fast truck. He's becoming more and more a great driver. Yet you're only getting him, you are getting him at $7,700. The DFS streets are much slower to adjust to these guys as they continue to get better and better in changing the price. And I think that this is an opportunity where you get him at a cheaper price still. We can take advantage of that. That'll help you play a teammate in Corey Heim at a higher price, help you get in a guy like Carson Hocevar, and still get a guy with a lot of upside who can go out there, who can lead laps, who's going to get you a good finish. So give me Giovanni Ruggiero, $7,700.
You know, it's funny. I have the same mental impediment when it comes to Tricon and ThorSport that I do when it comes to Trackhouse and 2311.
Yeah, I did catch that earlier. You said ThorSport. Everybody knew you meant Tricon. It was fine.
I swear to God, like there's like a switch in my head that's like the right answer is, and then it just flips.
Well, they are like the two predominant teams, right? Like those are the big teams. They've got a ton of trucks. They've got good drivers. They've got a mix of rotating drivers. They both start with T. I get it, Rod. You're old. We forgive you.
Swear to God, I am. That's every day I wake up and I feel a little bit older. But Preston saying, yo, what in the Freedom Factory is up, my guys? Can't wait to see Cletus in all of Cody's lineups.
I did actually submit a request to DraftKings today to see if they would allow me to play Cletus in all 5 positions in DraftKings, just so I could really make sure that I maximize out my Cletus points this week.
Who wouldn't want to maximize their Cletus exposure this week? So you want 250 lineups with Cletus? By all means, bring it on. All right.
I put Max entered all the 150s with 5 Cletuses in all 150 lineups.
All right.
Or 6, because it's actually 6 spots, but whatever. Details.
Turning back to the matter at hand, let me get to my mid-tier driver. And I'm like I said, because I gave you the highest price driver on the slate, I will dip down a little bit to Brenden Queen, $6,300 for Butterbean Queen, the darling of the Craftsman Truck Series. And listen, Brenden Queen, right, he's driven in all 4 races inside of the top 10 overall in fantasy points per race this season. It's crazy. And then amongst drivers that have finished all 4 races, he's actually one up because Landon Lewis sneaks in there with his 40.9 points. But for Brenden Queen, 33.1 average fantasy points per race last week, or not last week. It feels like last week. Last race in South Carolina got you 32 points. 9 before that at Coda. Not bad. 39 and 52 as well. Just eating it up in the fantasy space. Started 20th. Finished 29th in the last race, started 16th and finished 28th, or started 28th rather, finished 16th in Atlanta, and then at Daytona started 22nd and finished 7th. We know that Brenden Queen did not run a full schedule in each of the last couple of series, but he's been a pretty solid DFS investment in the races that he's been in. In 2024, he started 26th and finished 4th in North Wilkesboro. In Nashville, got you a 19th place finish. He lost a few points, starting 12th in that race, but in Kansas, started 23rd, finished 20th, so a good solid investment there. In IRP, started 14th, finished 16th, so a couple of place differentials to the bad, but still a good solid 16th place finish. And then Martinsville, started 13th, finished 10th. This season, like I said, some pretty good DFS days as well. So, I mean, look, his average start, 23.5, his average finish, 16.8. What you want with a guy with $6,300 is somebody that's going to get you 30 points, 33 points. Hell, I'll even take 25 points out of that kind of a situation from Brenden Queen, because I know not a lot of people are going to be piling up on a Brenden Queen. But here we are. I mean, he is driving a Ram truck, which I know, a lot of people are kind of sketchy now on that Colleague Ram situation, but he's still been getting it done in Ram equipment, right? I want him to start bad. I want him to start poorly because that means all he can do is move up. We know he's a talented driver. He has been keeping his head down and driving that 12 truck pretty efficiently, right? And that's something that I think they're looking for now, especially given the situation that they've been.
Yeah, keep your head down.
Keep your head down.
That's all a colleague wants right now.
Finish races, right? And Brenden Queen is probably the best that can do it. So, yeah, for DFS purposes, I like the price. I like the upside. Give me that 12 truck.
Yeah, I like this. I know I kind of shat on Dodge and Ram so far, but really we haven't seen it. I mean, Darlington's the one race. They weren't good there. You're going to hold the super speedways, the street course against them. It's hard to do it. We haven't really truly see it play out over a few races, see what opportunities they have. We know they don't have simulation. That certainly is a down for them, but maybe he is a little bit slower in qualifying, and then his racecraft just kind of moves him up the board. That's what you're looking for. So I will back you on this play. My cheap play, Rod, is a guy that I love. This is one of the guys I go to almost every single week because he continues to pay off, and that is Malcolm in the middle, Frankie Muniz. He is only $5,000 once again, down near the bottom of the board. There's only 2 drivers cheaper than he is, and I just don't understand it. You look at what he's done this season. Again, it's been drafting tracks. It's been a street course, but 44 points at Daytona, 24 at Atlanta, 5 at St. Pete. Nobody cares. But Darlington, 43 points. And all it is, he starts 36th, finishes 18th. Boom, he's moving up the charts. This is what Frankie Muniz does. He doesn't start well. Yes, thank God. That's what we want. Don't start well. And then go out and get results. At Phoenix at the end of last year, started in 28th, finished in 19th, moving forward. Martinsville started in 32nd, finished in 23rd, moving forward. Talladega, 28th to 20th. Indy was 26th to 27th, but still 27th place finishing position. You're losing 1 place differential. That's not horrible either. Daytona even 14th to 10th. So yeah, that was just 25th to 14th, 31st to 27th, 30th to 28th, 26th to 25th, 30th to 23rd at this race last year. That's gonna pay off for you. It's decent, and that's all you're looking for is a guy who's been reliable. He finishes races. He's really put in the work to go out there, have the skill craft, and just get to the end of these races, right? He doesn't think he's not riding a bald eagle thinking he's gonna go win. He's just out there to check the boxes, hit his marks, go have the best day you can have. And he's a reliable driver, takes care of his equipment, gets to the end of these races. And when you're looking for a cheap guy, that's exactly what you want. I love Frankie Muniz, one of the first guys I look at every week when I go to build my lineups. $5,000, you plug him in, and you just don't have to worry about him. Man, there's a little upside. He can score you 30, 40 points in a week, which is great at a $5,000 price tag.
It makes me wonder sometimes, and maybe it's because of who he is, and maybe it's because of teams not wanting to necessarily take a gigantic chance on him. But what if he got put in an 11 truck? What if he got put in a 1?
Yeah, it's surprising to me. You'd think he'd be a lot more marketable. You think that would attract sponsors, and I don't quite understand. I mean, there's almost been times where we didn't know he was going to have a ride because and this Rayum truck is not great. We all know that, right? But he does the best he can with it. And yeah, it makes you wonder, what if he got put full-time in a 5 truck over a Tricon or in one of these Thor Sport trucks, or even a different truck that's a little bit of a step up, what he could do with it. And maybe we see an O'Reilly opportunity eventually at some point where he can get in a decent car over there. But yeah, it's he's been a solid driver, and he just goes out there. He minds his P's and Q's. You don't hear from him much, which is great. It's exactly when you have a guy this cheap, you almost hope they never show him on the broadcast, because that means he's just doing a fine job. It's not crazy. He's not wrecking, and that's what you want.
Indeed. And just like a lot like the next driver that I'm going to talk about, who's in a Nice truck, who I wonder if that would be a little step up from where Frankie is as well. But how about Andres Perez de Lara? He is $5,900. When you look, and you know me, I love to sort by fantasy points per race when I go to build my lineups, because it doesn't always, the salary does not always tell the whole story about a driver, right? Where they're consistently scoring versus their price, that is what you are looking for. And Perez de Lara, listen, he's scoring 28 fantasy points per race right now, which is 1 under, by the way, Frankie Muniz, but it is more than the likes of Minnie Tyrell, Ty Majeski, Stuart Friesen, Chris Wright. How about Chris Buescher? Not Chris Buescher, Butcher. How about some Cup Series guys in there? Grant Enfinger as well, Tyler Ankrum, Tanner Gray, Jake Garcia, Dawson Sutton. All of those guys he is outscoring, as is Frankie Muniz, by the way, as well. So he's actually holding his own so far in the world of fantasy, and you got to love it. In last time out, he lost you 2 points, which is kind of sorry. At Darlington, started 21st, finished 32nd, but before that, 44 at St. Pete, actually 23.8 at Atlanta, 46.4 at the Daytona race over there. And for me, this is just a consistent guy that's been getting it done in fantasy wise. And I know that it's been a bunch of different tracks and haven't necessarily been to a track like this yet for the Truck Series, but I am thoroughly impressed with how well he's been able to just consistently run. And if you take a look back to last season overall, his starting position was 15th. His finishing position was 19th. Not necessarily all that fantastic, but if you look at Rockingham, he started 14th, finished 12th. That is a good, solid day. He was in the 77 Spire truck, which is not the same truck, obviously, as he's in, but he's in a Nice truck, right? Nice Spire. In the Truck Series, you can sort of say that they're the same because it's not, the Spire is not the dominant truck as they are in, well, they're not even the dominant car in the Cup Series, are they? But yeah.
Well, not yet. Hocevar is almost there.
But then he started driving the 44 late in the season and had some pretty good DFS days. 22nd at Richmond start, 21st finish. Darlington, 20th place start, 16th place finish. Bristol, 16th place start, 8th place finish. New Hampshire, 20th place start, 15th place finish. So, some good solid finishes for Andres into the 44 truck last season at the end of that, which is an East truck, which is what he's driving this year. So, like I said, he's been pretty much consistent all season long in terms of DFS and been a reliable play. And at $5,900, a lot like what you said, Cody, you want somebody who you're not even sure is in the race because that means that they're running quietly where they need to run. So I do love me some Andres Perez de Lara this week.
Yeah, he's been a very solid driver, a guy that I consistently look at when it comes to DFS because he has been a solid driver week in and week out. So, I love this play as well.
Indeed. All right, we'll get out your pen and paper. We'll go over the Truck Series drivers for your DFS lineup. Cody started you off with Carson Hocevar, Hurricane Hocevar himself, $10,700 for the Hurricane. I gave you Heim time at $12,000 as my high price driver. Cody gave you Gio Ruggiero at $7,700. I said Brenden Butterbean Queen at $6,300 would be my mid-tier driver. Cody's value driver is Frankie Muniz, $5,000. My value driver is Andres Perez de Lara at $5,900. That'll do it for the Truck Series. When we come back from the break, we will set up your O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race from Rockingham. But before we do, allow me to tell you about Rhythm. It's your official data tool for dominating the madness of college hoops. Rhythm continues to crush it in college hoops. Plus, Rhythm's MLB projections are live, and they continue their NBA heater. And if you're looking to go premium, now is the perfect time. Use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off of your first month. Download Rhythm. Use promo code SGPN25. Let's say about Novig. We're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. With Novig, you're getting the absolute best prices in the entire galaxy. The Utah Mammoth taking on the Seattle Kraken tomorrow in hockey. Yeah, those are two real teams if you don't follow hockey. Utah looks to be the favorite here on the money line, -131. But if you think the Kraken can get it done, they're pretty equal in record right now. So Seattle +117 on the money line, or you can go ballsy and take the Mammoth to cover a 1.5 goal spread at +193. If you like that, you can go grab it right now on Novig. Go download that Novig app. Get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. It is that time of year again. It is Merch Madness. Take 15% off of everything in the store with promo code March. Got those beautiful first half undershirts, or if it's too late for you and all you want to do now is load up on your Racing Gambling Podcast merchandise, go do that and take 15% off. Use that promo code March. I'm overdue for a racing gambling podcast polo. I need to go secure myself one of those for when we go to races.
Me too. I better get on that. Especially hurry up and use that promo code because I don't think it's going to be around much longer.
I hope it is. I hope it lasts for as long. When is the championship game? So this is why I don't follow basketball at all.
Oh, yeah. They probably will run it through that, which is Monday. So Monday evening, I would make sure you probably get your orders in by there because, that'd be my guess is they'll change it after that.
I think they would at least give you till the end of the tournament to use that promo code, or they may change it to April and then give it to you all the whole time.
Who knows?
Right. I'm not the marketing manager because if I was, then I'd be fired. Like, Rod, you can't keep extending these things. Like, whatevs. All right.
Exactly. All right. O'Reilly Auto Parts Series.
O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. The North Carolina Education Lottery 250 set for 250 laps around this 1 mile paved track for 250 miles around the Rockingham Speedway in Rockingham, North Carolina. We talked about it in the O'Reilly Betting Picks edition. This is a very quiet, no Cup Series driver race, which is exactly the way we like it right now.
Exactly the way we like it. That's right. There is 38 entries now. Originally there was 39, but it's been shortened to 38. Nick Sanchez, that 25 team, has withdrawn from the race. I do not see Sanchez in the player pool, so you don't have to worry about that. That means everybody will make the race. No Cup guys, like you mentioned. JJ Yaley, 2009 F1 champion. He will be in this race. Again, Omaha, Nebraska's own Garrett Mitchell, a.k.a. Cletus McFarland. He will be driving the 33 car for Richard Childress Racing.
And everybody is going to load up on old Cletus in their cash games. So be careful. Be weary, my friends.
I have actually figured out my rostership percentage for Cletus this weekend. And it's a big fat 0.
I was going to say, if there's negative numbers, that's probably where we're at with that right now. But.
Yeah, there's zero chance I play him in anything. I don't care if he starts dead last. I don't care if he starts first. I will not be playing Cletus McFarland.
Especially if he starts first. Although I will say RIP AM Racing, because I feel like they're going to withdraw from the entire rest of the season.
Yeah, there's a good chance. It is funny, though, that Cletus is $6,900, Rod. It's very fitting.
I feel like they did that on purpose.
I feel like they probably did.
All right. Well, then, let's, if we're telling you drivers you're not going to use, how about drivers you are going to use for your DFS lineup?
Well, proven O'Reilly Auto Parts Series winner, Sheldon Creed. He gets top billing from me. $9,000 for Mr. Creed. Look, he's fast. He's good. He's got the ability to go out, lead a lot of laps, score a lot of points. When you look at the board, all the way up top, Justin Allgaier, $12,000. If you're going to go up that high, you're going to spend that much money. If you listen to the betting episode, I am very high on Justin Allgaier, but you're going to need to save some money with your other high-priced guy. I think Sheldon Creed is a great way to do that. He has had some solid races. You go back and you look. Phoenix, again, we're going to use that as the comp track. 61.5 points. He started in 16th, finished in 4th at 10 fastest laps, led 20 laps, a good solid week. Martinsville, 42.9, 43 back at Darlington, 48 at Las Vegas. It's been a solid season for Sheldon Creed. Then you go back and you look at what he did for you last year. He was just good because that's what Sheldon Creed does. 8th place at Phoenix, 4th place at Martinsville to finish the season. Rough day at Talladega, shit happens. 5th place at Kansas, 11th at Vegas. You go back and you look, Bristol, that's a track you could certainly use as a looser comp to this track. Starts in 10th, finishes in 2nd, has a good solid day there. Iowa, another comp track, 14th to 7th. That's a good strong day for him there. He's got the ability to get out front, lead some laps. We saw it at Nashville. I saw some people using that as a comp track. Our guy Easy in the Discord said that was a track he was going to look at. Led 25 laps on the day there, had a strong finish. Sheldon Creed is a guy in a tough car. We've seen these, Riley Herbst has won races in him. Cole Custer won the championship just a couple of years ago. Yes, they were Stewart Haas of the top 3. While the Cup team changed a lot, they went from 4 to 1. Everybody left. It's all different. The O'Reilly team essentially stayed exactly how it was. Not hardly anything changed over there. They switched from Ford to Chevy, but they'd been Chevy previously. I don't think that really changed much of anything. Probably a bonus because Ford clearly not interested in this series. But yeah, I love Sheldon Creed. I think at $9,000, he's got a lot of upside this week at The Rock.
Yeah, definitely go back, listen to the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series betting. We definitely have a lot more to say about Sheldon Creed, the proven O'Reilly Auto Series winner, as you've mentioned already, and I do love that as well. Well, you mentioned him just as you were setting up Creed, but it's Justin Allgaier, $12,000. We talked a lot about him in the betting series episode, or the O'Reilly Series betting episode. And look, Justin Allgaier is coming off of winning 3 of the last 4 races. He's led the second most laps in the entire series this season, 2 laps behind Jesse Love, by the way. Jesse Love has led 208 laps. Justin Allgaier has led 206 laps, and that just equals fantasy points, right? And so much so that Justin Allgaier leads all drivers in fantasy points per race with 54.4. The good thing about Justin Allgaier is that not only is he winning races, which obviously secures you a lot of good points, but he's also pretty much finishing better than where he's starting, other than last week where he started from the pole. You can't get much better than that. Won from the pole. Week before that, started 4th and then finished 1st, 9th to 4th, 17th to 1st. He's just been getting it done, especially over the last 4 weeks where it's just been a killing fantasy-wise. 98 points last week, 61 the week before that, 72.8, 70.5. I mean, the only day that he had a bad day was 33.5 in the Focus Health 250. So, yeah, and even then, he still got you an 8th place finish. And the only reason he didn't have as many points is because he didn't lead any laps. So, yeah, to me, this is just a no-brainer. I know 12,000. I've given you both of the high-price guys. But as I say, in most instances where we talk about these high-priced drivers, it's not as if I'm giving you the world's greatest insight on this. I'm just taking away the doubt from you, because a lot of people don't like to play these high-priced drivers because they say, well, that's too obvious and it's going to be so high rostered. But with a guy like Justin Allgaier, if he comes out, leads 114 laps of 200, and you don't have him in your lineup, you're like, well, I outplayed myself. And what did we say in the O'Reilly Series episode earlier, or yesterday even, Cody, is sometimes you just tend to overthink things and outthink yourself and try to get smart. And sometimes you don't have to. Sometimes in instances like this, you can just take your brain out and absolutely play the guy that needs to get played. And if you need a little bit of someone else to jump to, then make another lineup. But you can't not have at least one, if not more, lineups with Justin Allgaier in it, because, you know, last year's race for him here wasn't that great. He actually ended up finishing a pretty poor finish of 22nd. No, I'm sorry, not 22nd. I was looking at the Corey Day 7 in that one. He was not driving 7th position, but yeah, it wasn't a good finish for Justin Allgaier last year, but he got caught up in the mix. Unfortunately, got kind of wrestled up in a late caution. So that kind of ruined his day. But I mean, you know, a 21st place finish after starting in 8th, right? He had the speed to start in the top 10, just couldn't keep it there after the crash. So yeah, I mean, it's Justin Allgaier's world right now. We're all just kind of living in it, and it's okay. This is me telling you it's okay to play Justin Allgaier this week.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and last year, yeah, got involved in the crash. He did that a lot last year. Knock on wood here, but this year he's cleaned it up so far. He's won 3 of the last 4 races. He's been impressive. I will rubber stamp Justin Verstappen, and I suggest you play him as well. The guy I love the most this week, Rod, the cover boy for this show, Corey motherfucking Day, $8,700. I went cheap on the high price guy. I'm going expensive in the mid-tier guy. I love some Corey Day this week. Look, he's shown us everything we need to see. He has passed all of the eye tests, including getting the talking to from Mr. H that has neutered some people that we won't mention anymore in the Cup Series, but not one Corey Day. He has been solid. He's been good, and he's been delivering. Last week, starts in 7th, finishes in 2nd. He led 37 laps. There at Martinsville, had a great day, 60.3 points, 44 points at Darlington, 43 points at Vegas. 34 was like a little bit more, but even the super speedway races delivered you some good points. He has had a strong day, or a strong year. Day has had a strong year and a strong day every day that he's on the track. I love Corey Day this week. I am fully invested. He's this week Sammy Smith for me. Sammy Smith paid off big time last week. Hoping to roll that into some day this week. $8,700. Corey Day. This is his week. We'll see you in victory lane, Mr. Day.
we just need to, I think, have a copy and paste now of where it's just day. Like this is what do we say when Kevin Harvick, right? When we were talking about Kevin Harvick, especially in DFS, it was every single, this is your reminder to go ahead and play Kevin Harvick. And this will be your reminder to play Corey Day.
Today is the day to play Day.
I like that. Actually, let's keep that. We'll let's copyright that so we can start telling people that.
I'm telling you already, on Saturday, the call better be Adam Alexander. I know you're listening. It's his day. Corey Day picks up his first career win. We got Heim time. We need it's his day because it just fits too well.
I agree. All right. So I just made the switch to YouTube TV, and not that they're paying me or anything, but I made the switch to YouTube TV. Cut the cord.
They're actively not paying us because they think we're using a copyrighted song, Rod.
This is true. Yeah. And if you're listening out there, please take the copyright off of that. We're going to contact you, but please take the copyright off. Yeah, but no. So they have a channel now, and I don't know if it's on cable or not, but Nicktoons. All they do is play SpongeBob SquarePants. So I have been indoctrinated in the world of Patrick Star.
Great channel. I'm interested.
Right? I love it. I watch all the time. So I've seen so much of Patrick Star that when I go to build my lineups, all of a sudden Patrick Staropoli jumps into my lineup, and he is in my lineup right now. $6,600 for Patrick Staropoli. Patrick Star, the guy that he's won my heart DFS wise, because if you look at again, like I do, I sort through the fantasy points per race. He's inside of the top 10 in fantasy points per race. And if you knock out Brent Cruz, who hasn't raced all the races, he slides up one more spot in that one. He's scored 25.5 fantasy points per race. And at $6,600 for Patrick Staropoli in that big machine, number 48, right? I mean, this was the one that Parker Kligerman was driving, and driving very well. And now Patrick Staropoli is actually not doing bad himself. Last week, got you 40 points at Martinsville. Started 27th and finished 16th. He turned 5 of the fastest laps, believe it or not, in that race. The week before, unfortunately, couldn't get it completely done at Darlington, but he still got you 12 points and 22 points in the race before that, where he started 22nd and finished 21st, but still good enough for a 22-point day. In Phoenix, which is, of course, what we talk about when we talk about this being a mile track, right? He got you 35 points, started 32nd and finished 20th. So for me, that's the encouraging part, is having 35 points out of a guy who's $6,600 so far. But look, go back a little bit further too through his racing history. In 2025, he's actually pretty good for DFS purposes too. Started 33rd. Now this is all in the Sam Hunt 24, right? We talked a little bit about Harrison Burton last week, but in that Sam Hunt 24 last year, he started 33rd at Martinsville, finished 16th. Atlanta crashed out. Whatever that happens, it is a super speedway track, but unfortunately didn't get a too good of a day in Kansas. Started 11th and finished 22nd, but in Martinsville he rebounded, started 33rd and finished in 17th. So, you know, again, this year, his average start is 22nd. His average finish is 20th, which tells me he is not losing positions anytime he takes a track. Exactly what I'm looking for. And a guy that's inside of the top 10 in fantasy points per race, that's buried down in the $6,600 range, absolute value. Give me some Patrick Staropoli. He needs to have a SpongeBob themed car. There needs to be a paint scheme for Patrick.
I mean, we're really missing out in the marketing department if we've not pitched Patrick Star to be on Patrick Star's car. I mean, come on.
Yep. The former optometrist turned race car driver. I fully back Patrick Star.
Yes, absolutely. I actually kind of like this play because he's a guy you just overlook, because you look at him and you're like, this fucking bum. Nick Sanchez lost his ride because of him. But as you pointed out, there's been some solid rides there, and we know it's a good car, right? We saw Sanchez run good in it. We saw Kligerman run good in it. It's a car that's won before when Tyler Reddick ran it back when he was a Chevy driver. The program is good. Scott Borchetta, a big motorsports guy, been around it a long time. So, I like the play because he's a guy that I think in general a lot of people just dismiss for decent reason, right? We're not going to bet on him, but he's been delivering some pretty solid finishes. He's putting in the work, it seems. So I like the play.
More importantly, though, no upside down cars from Patrick Staropoli.
That's pretty tough to do, I've heard.
It is when you're looking at what's been going on lately. So yeah, I love it.
Yes.
All right, Cody, who's our value drivers now?
Yeah, I'm going to jump a little bit off board here. We generally only talk about this guy when we go to road courses, but I'm going to take Austin Green. He's $5,900. I was looking through the cheap guys this week. I was bouncing back and forth. I was looking around. Josh Bilicki, he's a guy you can always kind of make a case for. Garrett Smithley, maybe. Like JJ Yaley, 2009 F1 champion, right? You got to give him credit for that. Of course, like Fox did that one time. If you're just listening to the show, he didn't actually win, but Fox put up a graphic one time that he was the 2009 F1 champ. So we've just rolled with it ever since. Was not actually the champ, but he's a 3-time like USAC champ. He's a really good dirt guy. But anyways, Austin Green, a guy that's sparked my interest because we've seen him in that 87 car running pretty well. Now, the results are mixed. He's not getting the best finishes always. There's still some work to do there, but occasionally you look up and you're like, wow, Austin Green's top 15, top 10, like having some good runs. Now, if we can just put that together and get the finishes, that's what's going to really pay off for us in DFS. He's been all right. I mean, 14.9 last week, 17, 11, 25. It's 33 points back in the super speedway races, but it's been okay days, minus 12 at Phoenix. He did get caught up in it. He actually started 13th. He practiced really well in that race, looked good, comp track, right? And then didn't get the result because he got caught up in something and finished in 33rd. So it ended up being a poor day, but maybe we can take that speed that we saw there. Maybe they can translate that into this track a little bit. Just a guy that I've had my eye on because we've been betting on him ever since literally his first race. He's paid off for us a few times on the road course stuff. And I think that we're starting to see it move into the oval stuff. So I'm going to roll the dice, go a little bit off board this week with Austin Green at $5,900 for my value play, if you will, Rob.
Well, again, not only to fit in the high price drivers that we have already given you right now, but also just because you need some differentiating, especially in GPPs where we think, and we talked about this too in the betting series or the betting show. It's getting late.
I mean, it's a series. We're what, 760 some episodes, and we call it a series.
It's been a series, but we talked about it, right? We think this is going to be a chalky race, and there's going to be a lot of the guys that are in the top 10 or in the top 15, and it's hard to differentiate because these guys are all going to be part of a lot of people's lineups. So you have to figure out how to be different if you're going to try to win some of these, especially big tournaments. So love the play. Cody, I'm jumping back into the pool. I am going back to Brenden Poole. We had him a lot last year because he was a DFS darling. He's a DFS darling again, not only for his hair, but the fact that he is and has the 8th best fantasy points per race total in the entire series right now. 33.2 fantasy points per race. Got you 32 points last week, 30 the week before that, 29 at the Leuna. And then Gov X 200 only got you 8, which kind of sucks, but 50 in the race before that in Vegas, 39 at Atlanta, 44 in Daytona. So some really, really good production out of Brenden Poole, and honestly pretty consistent, right? Outside of the race at Phoenix, which you say, but Rod, that's the only mile track that we've had so far. I get that. I understand. That was a rough go of it. But when he's 8th overall in fantasy points, better than the likes of Carson Kvapil, of Brandon Jones, of Raja Karuth, all these guys that you expect to be ahead of him, of Sam Mayer even, of Taylor Gray, of William Sawalich, who we're pretty high on in this, right? All these guys he's scoring a better average than week after week after week. Oh, but wait, it gets just a little bit better because Brenden Poole, in the one race that he has been on in this track, just like everybody else, he finished in 4th place. 28th place start, 4th place finish in the 44 car. So same digs, same driver. I expect a pretty similar result to this. Maybe not 4th place, but I'll take a top 15. And that doesn't seem like too much of a stretch for a guy like Brenden Poole if he can keep this car underneath him and stay out of trouble. And again, I like his hair. I like the cut of his jib, as my man Matthew Berry used to say on his fantasy show. So yeah, I mean, give me Brenden Poole again for the low price of $6,400 to round out my card.
Frosted Tips himself. I like it. Mohey checking in the chat. Shout out to you. Good to see you here. Yaley won the USAC Triple Crown. That's what I was going for. So, yes, I want to give the 2009 F1 champion his proper dues when it comes to USAC as well.
So beautiful. It's funny when they make those mistakes. It just proves that everybody can make a mistake and call a Thor Sport truck a Tricon truck, and then vice versa.
My favorite was when you screwed up Scotty Mack and Scotty Dixon, and then they did the same thing on the broadcast. And it was like, oh, see, it's pretty easy to do.
Very easy to do. Yeah, even the pros that get paid thousands of dollars per second can get it done like that. So, all right, get out your pen and paper. We're gonna go over our DFS plays for this O'Reilly Series race from Rockingham, the North Carolina Education Lottery 250. Cody, started you out with Sheldon Creed, my favorite Canadian that's not actually Canadian but from California, at $9,000 as his high price driver. So don't overthink it. Toss Justin Allgaier in your lineup. Don't look back at $12,000. It is Corey Day's day, says Cody. Cody Daisy, but yeah, at $8,700 is mid-tier driver. Patrick Staropoli at $6,600 is my mid-tier driver? ? It's low end, but it's there. Austin Green at $6,900 is Cody's low price driver, and then Brenden Poole at $6,400 is my value driver.
Out of turn 4, it's his day. Corey Day wins the North Carolina Education Lottery, whatever the race is called. But yes, I'm looking forward to that call. I can't wait, Rod. Reminder on the Truck Series, early Friday. Do not forget your lineups. Do not forget your bets. They have a Eastern times, 11 o'clock practice, 12:05 qualifying, 4:30 race. It's all close. It's all quick. Get it in. Don't forget about it. Leave the office early if you need to. Put it on your phone at the office. Whatever you got to do. Don't miss the truck race.
We'll give you a permission slip if you need it.
Absolutely. I would be more than happy to type one up and sign my name to it. And yeah, I can pretend like I put little initials after it.
Who the hell is Cody Zeeb?
Really?
Why are they telling you it's going to work?
Does anybody know your doctor? Like, Cody Zeeb could be your doctor? I don't know. Probably not.
Actually, that sounds like a good doctor name.
Sure. And can they read the name anyways? I mean, usually it's just scribbled on there. So
no, that's like my signature. I got nothing. You can't even tell that I have a name.
You might be able to make out the Z because it's just like a big 3, but that's all you're getting out of mine.
That's all you get. You get an R and then a bunch of lines. That's all you get.
Exactly. All right.
Let's wrap it up, Cody, and send everybody on their way to get that DFS lineup in before everything in the commotion starts on Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be back with a Truck Series betting episode on Thursday, of course, live on the YouTube. So wherever you listen to this, make sure you head over there, click the bell, join us for that because you want to get those bets in ASAP. So yeah, looking forward to that. Go back and check out yesterday. We had a full episode, only O'Reilly, over an hour of O'Reilly Series bets. I felt like a pretty good card. A lot of options out there, so pretty excited about that. Looking forward to these two series taking the spotlight this weekend. All right, Rod, follow us over on the X at NASCAR Gambling. You can follow me as well at Husker_Zeeb. Like, subscribe, click the bell, 5-star ratings, leave reviews, comments on Spotify. I think I covered it all.
I think it's
Go Corey Day.
Yeah, I'm getting old, so my Twitter's getting a little old as well. But you can follow me there at RJ Villagomez. You can find everything I'm up to. I'm still writing. I'm still kicking. I just do it kind of quietly these days on my front porch, rocking in my rocking chair. So we'll see you tomorrow with more of the fun that is the NASCAR Gambling Podcast and the Truck Series. So until then, thank you once again for joining us on our never-ending quest to make NASCAR betting fun again. Let's go racing and let it ride.